Have you ever noticed how some folks, maybe you or someone you know, get really affected by the state of the world, or maybe the things they hear in the news, or the big whys of life? That's what we're talking about here today. Hey everyone, welcome back to Preacher Perspectives. I'm John, but before we dive in, I want to remind you that while I am a life coach with over 20 life coaching certifications, an empath, and I love sharing insights and experiences here, it is important to remember I'm not a medical professional. This channel is all about exploring ideas and perspectives, not giving medical or mental health treatment advice. If you're dealing with deep mental health concerns, seeing a mental health specialist is always the way to go first. Now, let's dive into today's topic. Let's talk about something many of us experience but might not have a name for. We're taking a look into what it means when deep thinking leads to deep or heavy feelings, including deep sadness, even despair, especially in adults. I want to talk about this because I experienced this for many years and I didn't understand why. It was during the period when my depression had its strongest grip on me. Once I became aware of it, I gained power over it because I understood it and was able to address it. And that's why I want to share it with you, or for anyone else out there who might be wondering what this is that they're going through. It has a name, and it's called existential depression. The thing is, these kind of deep, heavy feelings and sadness related to deep intellectual thought isn't just about feeling blue on a bad day. It happens to a lot of people who think a lot. Have you ever noticed how some folks, maybe you or someone you know, get really affected by the state of the world, or maybe the things they hear in the news, or the big whys of life, such as why are we here? What happens after we die? Is there more to life than what we know? Deep, thoughtful questions like that, that's what we're talking about here today. It's like this. Some people are naturally tuned to see the world differently. They look at life and see more than just the daily grind. They see possibilities, the good and the bad, and sometimes it's overwhelming. When you are aware of all of the injustices, the inconsistencies, and what-ifs of life, then it can be a lot to handle. Now imagine you're someone who's always asking the deeper questions, challenging the status quo, challenging traditional thinking, or feeling the weight of the world's problems on your shoulders. It can get lonely, right? It's tough when you feel like no one else gets it. The people around you are not interested, or they simply think you're crazy for even thinking about this kind of stuff. Or when these thoughts lead you down a path of feeling isolated and questioning everything only to not get the answers you're seeking. Here's where it gets tricky. When you've got a million interests or talents and you just can't pick a path, it feels like you're standing at a crossroads with 100 different roads in front of you. Which one do you choose? That pressure of choosing right can be paralyzing, causing you to choose none. And when you can't do it at all, it's easy to feel lost and frustrated. It's moments like this where anxiety can kick in and have your mind racing with deep intellectual thought, where one thought path creates another and another and another. You'll find yourself in a bottomless pit of thoughts about the mysteries of existence. So what happens when these feelings pile up? For some, it turns into this deep existential sadness. It's like you're searching for something solid to hold on to, something that makes life feel meaningful. But the more you search, the more you realize how vast and complex life is. It's like you're a tiny piece in this huge puzzle of existence. And it's scary. And honestly, it can be kind of lonely. But here's the thing. We're all in this together. These big questions, they don't have easy answers, and they're not just one and done kind of deals. We keep coming back to them over and over, and that's okay. It's part of being human. It's part of the human experience and our journey to understanding ourselves and the world around us that we exist in. Thinking about these things isn't a bad thing. In fact, this kind of thinking has led to amazing discoveries and innovation throughout human history. The only thing that makes it bad is if you have underlying depression or other form of mental or emotional health concerns that become impacted or activated by these kinds of deep thoughts. And that's where you would need to gain some understanding as to how to manage that condition. So if you're feeling this way, or you know someone who is, the first step is acknowledging it, admitting it, talking about it. Share your thoughts, listening to others. Sometimes just knowing someone else gets what you're going through makes a huge difference. Once you begin to realize that you are part of a community of thinkers who experience the same feelings and engage the same kinds of thoughts as you do, you will feel far less alone. And you will feel that there are people like you who understand you and the way you think. This is why it's important to make videos like this and to share this kind of information that most people living with this don't even realize that it has a name: existential depression. This is how I began to help myself, by talking with people who share the same thoughts and realizing that they're just as normal as anyone else. They just happen to be deep intellectual thinkers who also had depression. If you don't realize that something is actually a thing, you may never actually understand that you have something that you're dealing with, and you can address it, and you can gain power over it. You can engage these kinds of thoughts without it leading to depression, anxiety, or sadness. One of the ways that worked for me when I was connected with other people, intelligent people, who embrace metaphysics, mysticism, people who embrace spirituality, and who endeavor to understand their mental and emotional health, as well as people who understand their personality traits and how their personality traits relate to how they think and feel and perceive and engage the world around them. That helped me tremendously because people were able to share their ideas with me, and I was able to connect their ideas with mine and actually feel empowered over my depression. Remember, we're all about dreams here. Like Langston Hughes said, hold fast to dreams, for if a dream die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. End quote. Let's not let our dreams die. Let's keep them alive because they give us hope, purpose, and a reason to keep pushing forward. Thanks for joining me here at Preacher Perspectives for our discussion on existential depression. If this video sparked some thoughts or offered you a new perspective, please hit that like button. It helps others find this content and join our community. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Preacher Perspectives channel. We have a lot more meaningful discussions coming up, and I'd love for you to be part of them. Please subscribe now by clicking on the subscribe button below. Your voice and experiences are invaluable to this community. Drop a comment below. Share your thoughts, your stories, or how you navigate life's big questions and how it makes you feel when you're thinking about them. Let's keep this conversation going and support each other in this journey. And hey, if you know someone who could benefit from our talk today, don't hesitate to share this video with them. You never know who might need to hear this message. So again, thanks for joining me today on Preacher Perspectives. Remember, you're not alone in pondering the depths of life. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep taking care of yourself and each other. Until next time, stay thoughtful and stay connected with us at Preacher Perspectives. Bye.